I'm in pain. The CHGO White Sox podcast presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with our friends over at Bet365. Use code CHGO365 when you sign up. Welcome into Studio B of our CHGO offices here in the West Loop of Chicago. I'm Sean Anderson, alongside with me, Joey Christopoulos, my producer. Say hello.
Hey, what's up, man? Happy Sunday.
Greet the people. Happy Sunday. It's not that happy.
We already got some people in the chat. All right, let's go.
And hey, apparently three of them are Cubs fans. We have Ryan, who says, hello, everyone. Very nice. We like Ryan. Ryan's a friendly one. Randall says, love it. Go Cubs, go. Again, that chat's in Studio A. And then Vince says, that's a minor league team. Embarrassing. The thing is about Vince, I actually don't even know if he's a Cubs fan or not. He could just be a frustrated White Sox fan, which could be fair, or he could just be spouting what Luke Stuckmeyer said as a salty Cubs fan. So, yeah, I'm not good. We could get the fly the W stuff out of there. This isn't good. Sox lose 6-2 against the Chicago Cubs. They get swept in the 3-game series, outscored 25 because we scored one in the ninth. All right, so there you go. It's going to look a little less uglier in the papers on Monday. Outscored 25-8. So, hey, not bad. All right, shout out to Bez from Beyond, or not Beyond the Pen, but Beyond the Pen. Bez, I don't forget what his handle is. He's over at On Tap Sports. He said that the Sox were going to get outscored 24-8 in this series. Just one run off was Bez. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. If you haven't dunked on me as well or the Sox as a Cubs fan, jump into the comments. Joey, star the ones that we like. We like goop like soup. He says, yo, Sean, hello, how are you? David said, not surprised. The Sox haven't ruined baseball for me. You know what? Hey, this series was bad. Probably one of the worst series the Sox have played all year. It's not as bad as the 4-game sweep against the Royals. So, you know, there we go. Little progress. They got ran all over by not only PCA, but Dansby Swanson, Kyle Tucker. Saturday was really rough. Defensively, this was a really, really brutal series for the Chicago White Sox. We'll talk about today's game. We'll talk about Friday and Saturday's game. We'll talk about the drama around Andrew Vaughn. We'll be taking the temperature of the red-hot Miguel Vargas with our friends over at Four Seasons. We'll jump into a little bit of minor league talk as well with Noah Schultz and George Wilco. If you have any thoughts, let us know in the chat. Joey Christopoulos will be your voice. If you got any thoughts, let us know in the comments down below. Hit that thumbs up button as well. Yeah, this isn't the worst series the Sox have played, but it's up there. It's probably worse. It's probably not as worse than the A series at home because you do get shut out in that one, but it's different when it's Cubs versus Sox. I know you really don't feel that. You moved to LA and got away from it. And you didn't even grow up with interleague play, old man.
I come home and I'm bemused by the pain.
Yeah. And then
the Royals series was worse.
There were some ugly ones in the early year, but they were kind of close. Like Cleveland to Detroit, I didn't really hear what the Royals was worse. So if we're making a power ranking of worst White Sox series, this is probably second or third worst. This isn't as bad as the Royals one, but this was a pretty ugly one. Sox lose 13-3 on Friday. I thought they had a chance going into the game. And then when Miguel Vargas hits his first of 3 home runs in the series, my jaw dropped. I was like, they're going to do it, right? I felt like Rudy. That hole opened up for Rudy. I was about to score a touchdown. And then Ray Lewis came through that B gap. It destroyed me. You felt like they had a chance?
You know what? Friday, with the wind blowing out and the way that they started in the game, I actually kind of thought that they were going to be able to hang in that game. It gave me a little bit of hope. I know we're going to get to more Vargas, baby Vargas, but yeah, Wheels fell off around the 5th, 6th inning and never returned.
Wheels fell off. And then on Saturday, 7-3 loss today, a 6-2 loss. Let's take you through today's game, and then we will get through the games on Saturday and Friday. We'll also talk about the upcoming 3-game series against the Seattle Mariners. In the top of the first, it looked kind of pretty for the Sox. Everyone's guy, Chase Meidroth, leadoff double. He's a fun leadoff hitter. He's been all right at shortstop, above average, outs above average for your guy Chase at shortstop. So, I mean, he's been one of the more watchable players for the Sox. Vargas hits a sac fly to right field, then moving Meidroth to third base. So, Sox have a runner in scoring position with only one out. And here comes an interesting play. It's a sac fly hit by Robert, right? It would have been the third hitter. Robert hits a sac fly to left field. It's shallow. Suzuki gets under it. He's your left fielder. And Justin Jershly says, Chase Meidroth, it's your time to shine. And we were watching the Cubs broadcast because it was a Cubs-Sox game. So we had CHSN on one TV coming in kind of shakily on an antenna.
Which feed was coming in better than the other?
We went with the marquee feed because it was actually coming in well. And on that marquee feed, Jim DeShays was like, oh, well, did he stutter at third base? No, Suzuki just had a cannon. Absolutely got Meidroth at home plate. Sox could have taken a 1-0 lead in the top of the first. I liked being aggressive. Suzuki's a very tough runner to run on, and that ball was just probably too shallow to run on. So you probably, at the end of the day, when you're watching film, maybe you don't run on that shallow of a ball, but honestly, I didn't hate the send by Jershly. Bottom of the first is when the Cubs get on the board. PCA hits a triple. Some people didn't like Robert's play. I honestly thought that with the line that it was a ball that was absolutely smoked to the left center gap. There's some pretty good center fielders. PCA is pretty good at covering range. Find me 6 other center fielders that at least get a glove on that ball. Robert gets a glove on the ball. If he's a hair faster, I think he actually catches that ball. PCA is insanely fast. Robert almost tracks it down, but PCA gets a triple. And then Seiya Suzuki, he throws him out on what could be a sacrifice fly, and then he absolutely hits a sacrifice fly in the bottom of the first. It was an all right throw by Brooks Baldwin. We felt like even with the speedy PCA that Brooks' throw could have got him, but it was just a little bit awkward. I think it hits PCA's foot, right? It bounces and I think deflects off PCA's foot and doesn't even make it to Caro. So it was a throw that was online, but just really difficult to throw that player out at home. Cubs take a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the first. And the one thing that was concerning all week, and I wrote it down, and it was still concerning in the bottom of the first, Bush hits a single, and then he gets on base. And Michael Bush isn't that fast, but while Cannon's in his motion, Bush is already taking off to second and stealing a base. The Sox did a very poor job at holding the Cubs at first base, and they allowed a ton of stolen bases this series. So very ugly there, at least in the bottom of the first. You did get a 2-out single from Edgar Caro in the top of the second, and Tim Elko gave me a little bit of hope. I thought Tim Elko could go deep today. A 10-pitch at bat. He smokes a grounder. So that inning ends where the Sox possibly could have had a chance. But after 2, Sox are down 1-0. But the top of the fourth is where it gets really interesting. Wasn't super interesting for the Cubs in the bottom of the second, bottom of the third, because Jonathan Cannon went 1-2-3, and he was very good. We'll talk about him in a second. But in the top of the fourth, I write down, did Vargas shave again? I started getting panicked. I was like, oh no. We noticed in that Boston series when they were at Boston, we made a final score graphic on that Sunday game that Vargas shaved, and he looked so weird without his mustache, and I thought he lost his power. But then they go to Minnesota, and it's the complete opposite. They've changed his stance. Miguel Vargas is reformed. We'll talk about his temperature and how hot Vargas is, but Vargas in the top of the fourth hits a solo homer, his third of the series. He ties the game up 1-0. He has been insanely hot. This isn't even going to be his only hit of the game. One of the most watchable players has been Miguel Vargas, and if you even asked us April 15th if he was watchable, I mean, you could have talked about him getting cut. It's like, where are they going to play him? Are they even going to play him at third base? Are they going to play him at first base? Like, he's a guy that should get a decent amount of time, but if he looks pretty bad in July, maybe Colson Montgomery's coming up and knocking on the door. And then, hey, a month later, Colson Montgomery's going down to Arizona to rework his swing, and Vargas with a rework swing looks like Mike Schmidt. I can't think of another good third baseman.
Robin Ventura.
Evan Longoria. Who's a Cuban third baseman? Oh, maybe Yohan Moncada. The one thing that I did write down.
Fernando Tatis. Senior.
My baseball brain's very limited. I think Pawpaw Joe's in here, and he was saying back in 1974, I was watching the Cubs. I wasn't alive in 1974. I've only been around since 1997. But it's kind of similar to when they moved Moncada from second base to third base, and he just gained confidence that he was playing a position where he knew that the foul line was to his right. He only really had to make rangy plays to his left. Vargas made a great play in the bottom of the ninth later on, diving to save a Swanson, what would have been double, to only an infield single. He's been very confident at third base defensively. I think it's just very similar to Moncada being moved over to third base. And we're like, wow, he found his position. I think them sticking with Vargas at third base and also changing his stance has been a real revelation for the White Sox. So I know that there's only, 14 wins for the Sox on the year? Yeah, 14 and 33. Is that good, Joey?
Last time I checked, no, it is not.
No, it is
Back
not.
to you, Sean.
No, it's bad. But hey, it's the little things. Because Lukey41 saying, Luis Robert is trash, bro. For real, for real. Robert and Vaughn on the series. 2 for 22.
Also not good, Sean.
Because Robert in the ninth was like, "Hey, I got a stat pad. Let's hit a double and score a run." Yeah, so Robert had a really tough series. I think that again, his defense and his speed. You see the stolen bases. That's intriguing there, but the hit tool is not what it's promised. You'd think it would have also been elite speed with Robert, and it's like highly above average. It's like, a little below elite. So he's not a 5-tool player. He's just a 3.5-tool player with a really nice gold chain.
It's starting to get a little late in the season for Luis Robert Jr., just in my opinion we haven't even really seen him for 3 or 4 games in a row put together 3 or 4 consistent offensive games together. We all believe, because we've seen it before, that it is going to turn around at some point. But tick-tock, I mean, we're getting close to June 1, man.
Well, I mean,
Lucci's comment ain't that far off.
Here's the thing about Luis Robert Jr. Here's the thing about Miguel Vargas. Here's the unfortunate thing about Andrew Vaughn is they unfortunately have the playing time to give. They are a terrible baseball team, so they have the playing time to give to Luis Robert Jr. to hopefully have him figure it out by July 31st. With Miguel Vargas, Drive Secure says Vargas has real power. Let's see how it is a month from now. They'll still figure it out for the next 3 months. Vargas has given them enough of a spark to say, hey, we're going to give this kid 600 plate appearances. That's why I picked him to lead the team in home runs before the year, because I thought that he'd just end up winning the battle of attrition. He's interesting enough to get playing time, and he doesn't have any options to be sent down. So you know who's going to get playing time? Miguel Vargas.
Vargas, baby, Vargas.
And Goop Like Soup says, new stance Vargas might be the greatest player to ever play baseball. I don't think that's going to probably stay. With his 350 average since April 23rd. That's probably not sustainable, but I compared him to Jack Schmidt and Evan Longoria. Good luck, kid. Anyways, Vargas with the solo home run in the top of the 4th. And should we just end it there? We could stop talking about the game there, Joe?
We have to keep on going. I'm sorry. Contractually obligated.
Yeah, the one thing that was fun to watch, bottom of the 4th, another 1-2-3 inning from Jonathan Cannon. Joey, you pointed this out, last Jonathan Cannon start, but he continued at 25 straight innings at that point without a walk. I think he ends up finishing with five innings today, right, Joe? Did he go 5 innings?
Let me double check that. But honestly, man, Jonathan Cannon got a raw deal on that Brooks Baldwin catch play there. I mean, we're going to dive into that.
We'll get to that in a second. He goes 5 innings today, so that's 26 straight innings for Jonathan Cannon without a walk. He has been electric. 376 average on the season. We've seen him with an opener, but today without an opener, still able to start off the game. 5 innings, 4 hits, 3 earned runs. Again, we'll talk about being screwed on that in a second. No walks, 3 strikeouts. A really good effort from Cannon. Again, in the bottom of the 5th, 1-2-3 inning. I think he had, after that, bottom of the 2nd, he went 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 2nd, 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 3rd, 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 4th, 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 5th. That's pretty good. That's 4 times 3. That's 12 straight retired.
Yeah,
So
we had a pitcher's duel going there for a second.
We're going to take a break in a second. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't. Top of the 6th, Sox almost have a chance. Vargas had another single. They pull out Colin Ray. They put in Pomerantz. Vaughn comes in, getting a pinch hit. So if you were wondering if he was benched Not really, because he ends up having 2 at-bats. That's Vaughn. Robert hits a single, which, hey, woohoo, first hit of the series for Robert. We'll get to him in a second because he has another hit later on. And then Sosa Cade on a called strike. So they had a chance there against Pomerantz, but Sosa could not deliver. And then the bottom of the 6th is where the Sox run into trouble. We'll talk about that trouble in just a second. Let us know your thoughts on the game in the comments below, on the Sox so far, on the series. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. Joey, how many people we got watching?
Right now, we got 63 people in the chat. We got 14 likes. Got to do better, people. Let's do
63 minus 14, 63 minus 13. That's
49
easier.
people
49
just
people
sitting on the sidelines right now.
Yeah, I'm
being a real Andrew Vaughn about this situation.
You know, and I never heard back from MIT.
You didn't?
No. Let's take a break. I did hear back from Empire because I know that number. You know that Empire. 588-2300 Empire today. They don't say sing the jingle at all, so I think they want me to sing it at any point possible. I have a cousin, Jake, that works at one of those big box stores. And Jake, one day, is in the flooring department, is one day in the paint department, is one day helping you at the self-checkout. He is not a flooring expert. If you go ask my cousin Jake, hey, what floors are going to look good in my room? He will look at you with a blank stare, a 1,000-yard stare, as they say. The people at Empire are experts. If you are going to take care of something that will be in your home forever, like floors, check out the experts over at Empire. All they do is flooring. From their curated selection, from their professionals who can install the flooring for you. You don't have to rely on a buddy to do a gig on a weekend and pay him in cash. You can rely on an expert with Empire. And again, these are floors that are going in your home forever. So give them the care and expertise that they deserve. You could schedule a free in-home estimate today because some things are better at home. CHGO listeners can receive a $350 off discount when using promo code CHGO with the experts over at Empire, and a $350 off discount with code CHGO. You heard us right. Call the experts. Restrictions apply. Visit empiretoday.com/CHGO for full details. 588-2300 Empire today.
Michael Jordan basketball.
We also want to let you know about our friends over at rate.com. You know the brand because they're the brand of our ballpark. You can go over to Rate Field and watch Luis Castillo and Davis Martin on Monday over at 640. Why not? You could download the Rate app today as well. You could scan that QR code. You can make yourself an account. I'll log into mine, but you also might be able to see my email, so I'll close that. But if you've ever tried to buy a home, get a loan, or just deal with money stuff in general, you know it can be a lot. That's why we got to tell you about the Rate app. It's a game changer. You can get pre-approved for a mortgage in minutes without the need to jump through millions of hoops. And if you're thinking about home equity loan or a personal loan, you could secure one in 15 days. The Rate app also helps you find the best homeowners and auto insurance based on what you actually need. And something that's an unexpected bonus when you're dealing with mortgages and loans, you get stressed out. Sometimes it's tough to sleep. You have 800 free wellness videos in the Rate app, and you can also try their soundscapes. If you want to be wistfully put to bed with the sound of brown noise or pink noise or white noise or blue noise, the Rate app can help you with all these lovely soundscapes. So again, it's one app that helps you with both your wallet and your well-being. Download the Rate app today with that QR code today to get started.
I got to hop in here real quick. During the break, I just had a really great exchange here in the chat. And I'm just going to go comment for comment here. Sox Jack from Lyle, loyal listener. Great to see you, Sox Jack, says, hey guys, how was the game today? Goop Like Soup chimes in. Not great, Jack. Lucci jumps in. LOL, not great at all. Goop Like Soup, but CHGO got a post game, so it's getting better. And Lucci, yeah, I rock with the podcast. LOL. There's a lot of commiserating going on right now. Appreciate the support.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Again, if you haven't, hit the like button, or if you haven't subscribed, maybe this is your first time watching us. We are usually here on Sundays. Typically, when the end of a series happens, we will recap that series on Sunday. We will usually recap the series on a Thursday as as well, because typically there's a day game then. So you can find us here on Sunday and Thursdays. And then depending on the week, we'll have a show on Monday or Tuesday. We'll be here tomorrow at 6:40 for Davis Martin versus Luis Castillo. That one's at the rate. That one's at 6:40. We'll have a post game for you then. And then, hey, I just lied. We're usually here on with you on Thursdays. Psych! We're here with you on Wednesday for another post game. So we got post game on Monday and Wednesday. Davis Martin versus Luis Castillo, and then Shane Smith versus Evans. And I have no idea who Evans is. So that one should be a win. Sox have to go 8-3 to go 500 in the month of May.
I think it's Bob Evans.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening.
Great. Bob
the
Evans.
Sausage guy?
Sausage guy.
Sausage King of Chicago?
You never know.
Yeah, all right. Let's first get to the taking the temperature segment by our friends over at Four Seasons. Now is the time to get your air conditioning checked out. It's going to be in the 50s. I think this is probably going to be the last time it's going to be in the 50s. That's a great time to have an air conditioning expert over because A, you're not going to be rude to the air conditioning expert that will have to fix your air conditioning. He gets to work in lovely 50-degree weather. But also, when that 90-degree weather hits, you want cool air coming out immediately. So go get your air conditioning checked out with our friends over at the local experts of Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. Visit fourseasonsheatingcooling.com for all their special offers and money-saving coupons. It's fourseasonsheatingcooling.com. We watched this game with Luke Stuckmeyer and Kevin Wells of CHGO Cubs, and there were a lot of comments saying, Miguel Vargas, pretty decent. Cubs might need a third baseman. Joey, seems like the Sox, who apparently lost that trade back in July when Eric Fedde, Tommy Pham, and Michael Kopech went to the Cardinals and Dodgers respectfully, and the Sox got Miguel Vargas, Alexander Albertus, and my guy, Joral Perez. Seemed like the Sox lost that deal. And you see lowly Miguel Vargas in that Oakland dugout just kind of
staring into the abyss
how he went
of
from
his
a
future life.
World Series winner to a 21-game straight loser. But Miguel Vargas has finally found his footing. I feel great for the guy. Since April 23rd, a 350 average, a 418 on-base percentage, a 360 slugging percentage. I didn't love the trade. I'm not going to act like I'm going to rewrite history for you people. I didn't love the trade. I thought Kopech should have gotten more, but that's honestly because I'm just a Kopech truther and really haven't woken up to the idea that he won't be a starting pitcher. So that's on me. But hey, I also do think that people are pretty quick to write off Michael Kopech, who was phenomenal for the Dodgers in the postseason. I think once it hits June and July, that guy will be hitting the strike zone with his 101 mile per hour fastball. But Albertus looked like the prospect to watch out for. Vargas was an interesting piece because he was formerly a top 100 prospect, and he was the only player dealt at the deadline that was even close to a top 100 prospect. A former top 100 prospect, but from the Dodgers who really didn't get playing time, he had somewhat of a pedigree. I compared him to, because at the time I didn't have a PS5, I was looking at a lot of open box PS5s that were returned to Best Buy. It's about $40 off the real thing. You're just hoping that, hey, it's working and someone just didn't want the PS5. Maybe a kid bought it on the credit card on accident. The mom returned it. The box was already open. Best Buy has to charge me, a $40 discount, but I get the PS5, right? Maybe we got a PS5 and we got lucky. And it seems like that didn't happen. He wasn't good at all with the White Sox once he was acquired. Terrible in 2024. And he was terrible to start the year. Again, I was pretty ready to kick him off the team before April 23rd. And they showed just that stance change. And he's able to cover the top of the zone. He's hitting so many home runs from fastballs, elevated fastballs, something that he was just not able to do before this. And he doesn't have a hole in his swing right now. Maybe there will be a hole. I think, again, whoever was 24/7 in the chat said, we'll see a month from now. Absolutely. But a 350 average, 418 on base, 638 slugging percentage. Absolutely insane. Miguel Vargas, in those games, 21 games, not including today, 1.1 WAR. That's more career WAR than Andrew Vaughn has. He did that in 22 games, people. Like a 182 weighted runs created plus. Like that is something that is very, very intriguing. Very, very intriguing. Because if he does fall off by, 60%, he's a 120 created plus hitter with pretty good defense. I mean, the number right here on Fangraphs, 0.4, that's a positive defensive number. Not a lot of White Sox have a positive defensive number from Fangraphs. They're very, very stingy. So to see positive defensive metrics, a 180 weighted runs created plus, this has just been a very good choice of lotto tickets by Chris Getz. Is Miguel Vargas the truth and answer? I don't know. But hey, I think we've had 3 numbers hit and we're 2 away from a Powerball, right? This is looking like a really interesting pickup. Joral Perez has been phenomenal. He has like 10 home runs already in advanced A, and Albertus was supposed to be the prospect to watch out for. So hey, still have faith in this trade. Taking the temperature, we're red hot. Yeah, on that Kopech trade.
Especially when he's getting the run like this, you just like to see the results and the hard work pay off. I mean, he hit well in the spring, which is a great sign to see. He obviously got off to a slow start. I think Miguel Vargas hitting 230, 250, 255, somewhere along that. That's not going to be surprising to me. I think what has been surprising has been that defense, man. He's looked incredibly smooth. The transfer and turning the double play has looked really nice, and there's a lot of confidence going on there on that hot corner. I'm not saying he's going to become a pillar or a foundation for this team moving forward, but right now in this moment, he's a guy that you can trust and at least bank on a day-to-day basis.
Do you know who's playing third base for the White Sox in August? I do. It's Miguel Vargas. Hey, we have an answer at a position. I'll take it, all right?
I got one more taking the temp for you right now. So 0 degrees to 100 degrees, 100 being red hot Robin Ventura versus Nolan Ryan. I need your take. Was Brad Keller throwing at Miguel Vargas as John Schriffen seemed to intimate on the call?
Real quick, that's a fair question because not much happens really after the bottom of the 6th. Let's finish the bottom of the 6th now that we have taken the temperature.
Yeah, let's get there.
Jonathan Cannon in a 1-1 game. Vidal Brujan has a leadoff hit. It was a very bad at-bat from Cannon. He almost walks Brujan, who's their 9 hitter, and then Brujan gets on. PCA then hits a single down the line. PCA then starts to advance to second. They throw to second. Brujan stopped at third and then is sent to third. They throw home. The throw home to Caro beats Brujan, and Brujan just barely is able to miss the tag by Caro, get his hand in. The Sox challenged. I thought that it was very, very close. I think that if the ump said he was out, that the out call would have been upheld. I don't think they had clear evidence that the call was wrong. I think they had clear evidence of a very bang play. I think they went with the call made on the field. That was safe. That's just unfortunate for the Sox. But also, Cannon just really got into 2 tight situations. 3-2 counts to Brujan and PCA, and he said, I don't want to walk either of these guys. So he pitched to him, and putting the ball in play against the Sox is usually nauseating. Cubs take the 2-1 lead, then putting the ball in play, Kyle Tucker, you get the result you want, a pop-up to left field, and Brooks Baldwin drops the ball, completely miffs it, hits his glove. Tucker safe at second. There's a bad Sosa tag, too. Tucker could have been out at second base, but Sosa just was not aggressive enough putting the tag on him. He kind of waited for Tucker to get into the tag. It wasn't an aggressive enough tag by Sosa. Then they take Cannon out for Steven Wilson. Say hits another sac fly, makes it 3-1. And then I know people were also going to get mad, too, that they didn't, that Robert specifically, because it was a shallow ball that he didn't throw home to try to get PCA out, but it was more to just keep Tucker at second base because the PCA play is going to be tough, even if you have a perfect throw with the Baldwin one. So it's more about keeping Tucker at second, but that doesn't matter because Michael Busch hits a RBI single and makes it 4-1. That's pretty much the game there. The Sox and Cubs do get more runs, but the thing that happens is in the top of the 8th, Brad Keller comes out, and in a 1-0 count, he throws a ball at Miguel Vargas above his elbow pad, like right here in a 1-0 count. Vargas isn't happy with it. John Schriffen also said or alluded to Brad Keller maybe throwing to Vargas or throwing at Vargas. Found that a little iffy. But then after the top of the 8th, going into the break, Vargas went over to Keller and said something. So that didn't end there. Vargas was at least chattering. So I think the temperature was definitely hot. I think it was mostly just young men being loud asses, if we're being honest, because I don't really understand what the beef is there. Someone said that there was prior beef. I said, why is Vargas steaming? Someone said they don't like each other, which is great insight. I said, what's the backstory? No one followed up. So maybe there is prior backstory with Vargas and Keller. Maybe there is something on the rumor mill that I have missed, but I just don't understand Vargas and Keller getting upset. It's just mostly like when you see 2 people arguing on Twitter, why are these people getting upset? It's because they're hotheads. If you're looking why I'm calling someone a moron on Twitter about Luis Robert Jr. on Friday, it's because I'm a moron. And then Luis Robert Jr. helps me and repays me by going, 2 for 12?
Yeah, maybe you can help walk me through this. I mean, Brad Keller did pitch 5 games for the White Sox last year. Were they on the same team at the same time?
No. Brad Keller was there in April. And he was.
So there's no crossover
late April,
there.
May. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Brad Keller, maybe there's something with the Dodgers and Brad Keller. Brad Keller was in the minor leagues because he sucks for a bit. Maybe it's something in the minor leagues. I don't know.
The only other one I could possibly think of is, to be very fair, if you're saying Miguel Vargas was feeling himself this weekend and he was like, they're throwing at me because I keep going yard. Yeah. I'm just trying to get in the side of the mind of the guy. Maybe that's where that came from a little bit.
But even then, I think it's. I love the confidence.
Yeah.
I love the swagger. Hey, I also hate Brad Keller. So if Miguel Vargas is just like, I hate Brad Keller, let's go. But I think it's just hotheads being hotheads. I'm great that Vargas, with his 350 average, 418 on base percentage, 368 slugging percentage, can have that swagger and vibrosity at this point. But also, maybe tone it down a bit and have maybe 2 good months before you're also doing that. I think it's just overblown by Keller and Vargas. Keller, a known trash talker, was talking to TA. Vargas, apparently chatty, Hey, I also don't like getting hit by a baseball. That's why I stopped playing baseball, because I'm chicken. You know what? When you're
and yet it still happens. You're walking down the street and you're still getting hit by baseball.
5'4", 90 pounds, and the baseball starts going 70 miles per hour. You just can't create enough torque to drive a baseball. So usually the baseball ends up winning, and then you just don't want to get hit by it because it hurts. Let's take a break. I want to let you know about our friends over at the Hall of Fame app. Go download the HOF app. We've all been there, folks. Your parlay's one leg away, and then Penn Murphy gives up a walk-off bomb in the 9th break. Heartbreak. The Hall of Fame app, the HOF app, is built to fix that. Started by 2 lifelong sports fans who also happen to be Ivy League grads. HOF makes parlay research smarter, faster, and data-driven. They help me today with my Nuggets and Thunder parlay. I took Alex Caruso over blocks and over steals. I don't know where that currently stands. 10 minutes in, he didn't have a block and he didn't have a steal. But I was just really interested on the stats. I'm very data driven. They gave a lot of nice insight into the NBA game today in Game 7. There's a ton of data to pull from with a ton of matchups between the Nuggets and Thunder so far, and HOF did a great job of laying that out. Whether it's MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL, or college sports, the app gives you beautiful charts, clean visuals, and real insight, not hype. They believe anything the books know, you should know too, because parlays don't have to be dumb bets. With HOF, they're not. So go check out our friends over at HOF Bets. For a limited time only, our listeners can not only get a 7-day free trial, but they can also get 50% off their first month when they use code CHGO at checkout. Just download the HOF app on iOS and Android, or visit HOFBets.com and enter code CHGO, and you're all set with our friends over at HOF Bets. We also want to let you know about our friends over at Ray CDJR. New vehicles are in store at Ray, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram, and this is your chance to score a great deal during the Employee Pricing Plus sales event. Head to Ray, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram on Route 12 to choose from their huge inventory of new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, and right now lease the new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xE for only $245 a month for 24 months. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. With a friendly team of brand experts, the team at Ray CDJR is here to help you during each step of your car shopping journey. And again, the price you see is the price you pay with our friends over at Ray because of the Ray's Price Promise. The price you see is the price you get. There is no upcharging with our friends over at Ray. So don't miss out on the Employee Pricing Plus sales event for huge savings on the Jeep Grand Cherokee. For more information, visit Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Yes. 79 people in the chat, like Joey's saying. Hit that thumbs up button. We're going to have Joey read your chats in just a second after he opens up that window because your boy's dying. Could you please?
Oh, yeah. I'm on it.
Man.
Getting a little sweaty, huh?
Yeah. Hey, we're at 19 likes, and we're going to have Joey Christopoulos play a game. Oh, the window's open. Great. Oh, I'm going to die. Awesome. 19 likes. It's now 20 likes. Oh, well. In the moment, it was 19 likes. 19 likes, the same amount of games that the White Sox have homered in straight games at Wrigley Field.
Oh, let's go. I've been waiting for this.
Shout out to Scott Merkin for this. Sox have homered in 19 straight Wrigley games. Joey Christopoulos is going to try to name all 19 separate players who have hit a home run since May 12th, 2018. The first 2-game series was May 12th and May 13th, 2018, when this streak started, a 2-game set at Wrigley. So let's see how many you can name, or how many of the 19 games you can name at least one player that hit a homer. So let's.
All right, cool. Play along in the chat and help me cheat. So we got to start with this series, right? We got Chase Mydroth. We got Miguel Vargas. We got Tim Elko.
Yes.
Luis Robert has to have it.
Yes.
Eloy Jimenez. Thanks, Cubs.
Yes. He had a couple. He had another game with 2 homers as well.
Jose Abreu.
Yes.
Yasmani Grandal.
Yes.
Tim Anderson.
Hold on. Robert, Eloy, Abreu, T.A. homered, and yeah, you're good.
All right, this is where it starts getting gets a little tricky. All right, I'm gonna go with. I know Adam Engel definitely went yard at Wrigley. No, dang. James McCann.
James McCann did.
Yes.
Whoa, that's
here
a
we
sicko
go.
one. On 2019, June 19th, 2019, James McCann.
Okay.
Only once.
Daniel Palka.
No, Palka did not.
No. Okay. This is where it starts getting a little dicey here.
Yeah, so far you got the Thanks Cubs game covered. You got the James McCann game in 2019. You got a couple from August 21st, 2020. Robert Grandal, Eloy. That's also the game that Abreu had 2. There's another player on that day. The next day Abreu hit 3. Grandal had 1. Robert had 1. And the day after that, 8/23. Abreu again, 2020 again. He won his entire MVP based on terrorizing Kyle Hendricks and the Cubs.
This is a great one from Luke Medal. Is Gavin Sheets on the list?
Gavin Sheets is on the list.
Here we go. So what number are we at really quick?
16th, 2023, Sheets goes deep. So you got Sheets, McCann, T.A., Grandal, Abreu, Eloy, Robert, Elko, Vargas, Mydroth. Were you counting? 5, 10. You're at 10.
I'm at 10.
10
wow,
of the 19.
with 9 to go.
9 more.
Now, this is where we get into Yonder, Alonzo
Ryan
territory.
says Joe Creedy, Steve Stone, John Cena, Pablo Ozuna, Sidney Sweeney. No to all of those.
I was going to say, is that his... Is that the list that he has with a significant other? Is that his hall pass list? Is that basically what that is?
Why don't all of you think on it? All right, and we'll go back to it at the end.
Yeah, the chat should come up with the last 9. I got pretty close.
Yeah, I just want to update people on the Friday and Saturday games. Sox lose 13-3 again. Vargas gave him a 2-0 lead in the first with a 2-run home run, but just an ugly second inning for the Sox. An error in the second that tied the game and extended the inning, and then PCA hits a homer, Tucker triples, Seiya hits a double, 6-2 Cubs, and the game pretty much is out of hand at that point. Vargas hits a solo, though, in the third to make it 6-3, and Shane Smith, poor Shane Smith, he's allowed 18 runs this year. Only 11 of them have been earned runs. He has been phenomenal, an ERA just around 2, and he just really hasn't gotten the help from his defense or his offense at all. 217, his opponents are hitting 217, 297, 311. That's a Rule 5 pick that we turned into a starter because of this changeup. That's, hey, again, small victories, Miguel Vargas and Shane Smith so far. I mean, I understand that, again, they're 14-33. You can be very mean and point out their very bad record, and yes, they're going to lose 110 games. You're the smartest baseball mind that I know, Luke Stuckmeyer. I just don't. I'm looking for the small victories because I'm here every day, And I think that the small victory for Luis Robert Jr. is his increased walk rate. Maybe he'll just finally hit a ball at some point this year to turn that into a true victory. But anyways, just an ugly game on Friday. Saturday, very interesting. Shout out to Chase Mydroth, his first home run, leadoff home run against Matthew Boyd. Shout out Mydroth. So a leadoff double. Today, a leadoff homer the day before, and then I think he was also on base too for the Vargas homer that made it 2-0. So again, Mydroth just leading off with a hit. He's a terror. Elko, solo homer in the 5th, makes it 4-3. Great job by Elko. He hit the hardest Sox homer so far in 2025 with a 111 mile per hour exit velocity. And hey, he's a guy that can actually go to right center field with his power because he hits 111 consistently. You know who's not doing that? Andrew benched Vaughn. Or maybe not benched.
Ooh, Andrew Vaughn's got to be on that list.
Yeah, he is on that list.
Ooh, 11.
Congratulations.
We're at 11.
Yeah, where we at? Where we at? Vaughn on August 8th, 2021. There you go. We're at 11. Congratulations. All right. Anyways, yeah, Burke had a tough fifth inning, though. Swanson hits a homer. A Sosa error extended the inning. Then Brujan hits an RBI double, makes it 6-3. Cubs had 6 stolen bases off Tice. Tice also had a ball hit his glove just truly in the middle of it. He drops it, extends the inning back in the second. Just an ugly game from him. And then Vaughn dropped third strike. It's a two-seamer from Keller that runs Moises Mo Baller. I still don't know how to say his last name. Ballesteros. Wyatt D. They're on in Studio A. They're
also on their own CHGO Cubs YouTube channel as well. If you wish to subscribe.
YouTube channel. Get a job. Anyways, yeah. So Vaughn has a drop third strike that is not caught by Ballesteros, and it goes behind him. So he just thinks that it's caught by Ballesteros, and he does not go to first base. He says, this is from Scott Merkin, it didn't see it as that's Venable. I didn't know he even dropped it. I didn't know until I looked at it and saw Keller pointing to the backstop. I was like, uh-oh, and then started running. More from Vaughn. If it's in the dirt, usually you know this one has a chance to get by him, but it wasn't in the dirt. And then, as Merkin said, and I just said, the Keller pitch had big movement that got by not Ballesteros, and allowed that ball get to the backstop. Then Venable said on the drop third, I didn't see it as a lack of effort or anything like that. If I had, I would have talked to him about it, but to me, it was pretty self-explanatory, it was kind of a unique play. I don't know, because here's the thing. Honestly, it's not even about the lack of effort, because it is a weird play. I'm fine to give him that kind of clearance if it's anyone else. But when he says, then started running, there is a clear video from everyone's guy, Optimus Sox over on X, where you can see that this guy is clearly not running. He looks behind him and he starts jogging, and as he throws his bat, he knows that he's going to be out. He does not give any effort to try to get to first base. He is doing it as a show to get over to first base. Andrew Vaughn is not worth rostering. He has gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. It's brutal to watch him, and I don't think that today was a benching. I think it's unfair to call it a benching, because when he did get a chance to put him in, he did do it against Palacios, and, Palacios is Vaughn's but he still gets 2 at-bats today. So he wasn't really punished, and Venable wasn't that hard. So I didn't love seeing that from Andrew Vaughn. Apparently, Will Venable's fine from it. I really did appreciate this from Shagiri and Prince. All this roster-taking shape talk is missing one ingredient: sending Vaughn to Doosan Bears post-haste, because it's geographically and legally the closest we can banish him to North Korea. So I'm fine with that. Robert and Vaughn go 2 for 21 in the series with 9 strikeouts. I've really liked the height of Tim Elko at first base, the big target at first base. He's been able to catch a lot of balls that Vaughn hasn't. I just don't know what Vaughn brings anymore. It's because he's a 3rd overall pick. I just don't see it. But I do see it in Miguel Vargas, so shout out to him. Anyways, Sox are now 7-10 in May, 14-33 on the year. They got a 3-game set coming up against the Mariners. Martin versus Castillo, Wilson versus not announced, and then Smith versus Evans. 2 things that stuck out to me, and then we'll see if Joey can name the other, 8 players he's missing.
I went into my mind palace, got a little help from Luke McDowell. I'm hopefully ready.
Okay. So one thing Baseball America said, Noah Schultz so far, pitching deeper into games, elevated walk rate, slight drop in velocity. One guy that we really like on this show, at TJ Stats, said, Noah Schultz has not impressed me this season. I don't want to ring the alarm bell, but lack of command in tandem with his depressed velocity does not spark excitement. This stuff also looks meh. Schultz is trying to build up, so I do want to give him an allowance, because he really never pitched past 4 innings last year and never passed, I think, around 70 to 80 pitches. So they're trying to give him more work, and he is a very thin-framed player. So maybe his development's going to look a little bit different than these 6'4", 6'3" guys, just because the body is very different. Shout out to my cousin Charlie. He's 6'4". His name's Charlie Condon. He's not the Rockies' former first-round pick, but hey, he's very tall. But he's a guy that's just really had trouble adding on weight. Maybe Noah is that ilk, and Charlie's 6 inches shorter than Noah Schultz. Noah Schultz is a very unique body, so I do think that Schultz has to bulk up. You could look at his arms, and I'm not one to talk. I have very, very skinny arms. I'm also built like a rail, but Schultz, there is some beefing up that he can do. So one thing, the stuff looking meh, I think is because of a little bit of decreased stamina. He's throwing when he is more tired. But the biggest concern about that is his fastball shape. There isn't actually a fastball that he throws with maximum spin efficiency. His four-seam fastballs don't get the desired ride or rise because he's not able to get the desired spin on the ball. It's the same with the sinker. He's not able to actually make a sinker work right now, and he's not actually able to make a cutter work. He's able to have that sinker be, or that slider be phenomenal, an 80 grade pitch, but he hasn't really been able to find that strikeout, fastball dominant pitch that he can rely on as a starter. So that's what's made him hittable, is really the lack of a dominant fastball. His fastball has been very hittable, and when he gets tired, that fastball gets more and more hittable. So I am a little bit concerned about Noah Schultz, not raising a red flag in any way, but if you're wondering, hey, why do these numbers look the way they do? It's mainly because this is going to be a growing period for Noah Schultz. I think it's interesting that when players go through bouts like this, and you have to try to reason with yourself, why is he going through a bout like this? A lot of the time, it's tough for tall players to repeat their delivery, but even with Noah, if that's not the case, what does the body actually look like? It doesn't look like a true dominant adult out there. It looks like a child still growing into his body. Did you see the 13-year-old that's like 7 feet tall playing against like 8th graders? And he's truly like, all these kids are up to his like calf muscle, and it's just like
the Andy Reid of little leaguers, right?
He's the only guy dunking. Like, he's the only guy that it can actually like like, you probably jump from the free throw line and slam the ball. He's the only person that can touch the net, let alone rim. But yeah, Noah, it does seem like he's still growing into his body. But another big freak athlete that the Sox have, 6'6", George Wilco, hasn't looked pretty to start the year, but George, 5 straight days with an extra base hit. I think he had 3 straight days with a home run, but he has a double today. So shout out to George Wilco. Hadn't looked good for the Downers Grove product, but it seems like it's righting ship a little bit. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. We're going to end the show with Joey Christopoulos trying to name the 8 other players that have homered in the White Sox and Cubs series at Wrigley Field in the 19 past straight games the Sox have homered.
All right, we're sitting at 11 right now. I want to give a shout out to Luke McDowell, and we're going to start with his suggestions. First, he threw out Elvis Andrews. Elvis Andrews is Leury Garcia on the list?
Yes, Leury on May 4th, 2022, and then Leury on June 19th, 2019. So Leury legend is here.
All right, here we go. We got 12. A guy who might just be the highest paid player on the Chicago White Sox right now is Andrew Benintendi on this list.
No.
Wow. Okay. So sitting at 12. Okay, the other ones I had in my mind, pals, here. Jake Berger.
No.
Danny Mendick.
No. Oh, yeah, Mendick's here. Danny Mendick, August 21st, 2020. Robert Grandal, Eloy Abreu hit 2, and Danny Mendick piled on.
So I also have, is Tommy Pham on the list?
No.
All right. I think I'm running out of, I said Jake Berger, definitely not on the list. 13. No. Man, I think I'm 6 short.
You give up?
Yep.
All right. Names you missed. Corey Julks. Shout out to Sam Guterman. June 5th, 2024. Corey Julks homered and Paul DeYoung homered. You're also missing on June 4th, 2024. Lenine Sosa. Lennonites, get up. Where you at? And the other 2 that you're missing. I'm so sorry. Sorry, you're missing 3. The other 3 that you're missing. Brian Goodwin homered.
Holy moly.
Cesar Hernandez on August 6th and August 7th homered in back-to-back games, and then he was dog crap to end the year. So Cesar Hernandez had like a bright spot there. And then the guy that kicked it all off. You all thought you were done with him, but this streak has stayed alive because on May 12th, 2018 and May 13th, 2018, one man all by himself changed Chicago history. You can thank Matt Davidson for this streak. Matt Davidson homered on May 12th and May 13th to start this 19 straight game home run streak for the Sox at Wrigley. They get swept, but at least we got 19 straight games with a homer. has been ugly. I think they've lost 8 straight to the Cubs. It's not been a nice series. It's not been good for Sox fans. And if you see a Cub fan, just ignore him. You don't need to talk to him. That's going to do it for the show. Hit that thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe to the CHGO Sports YouTube channel. We will see you tomorrow as Davis Martin takes on Luis Castillo. We'll see if Luis Castillo this time throws 47 straight fastballs to the White Sox. We'll see if they can adjust. We'll talk to you then. Thank you to Bet365 for presenting this show. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with our friends over at Bet365. Use code CH3. Use code CHGO365.
Yeah, CHGO, that's where we work.
Goodbye.
We all silly like the mayor.
Fucking jokes.